And away they go down towards Allard. A good start from the two West Surrey Racing BMWs, as you would expect. And Cook matches them. Jake Hill, who can't get past the three Fords. They box Hill in, and Hill can't go anywhere. He gives a little bit of a bump draft towards one of them. I think that was Sutton, as they make their way round turn 1 up to turn 2 in towards the complex.
And Josh Cook goes second up the inside of Colin Turkington. So Cookie's gained a place. Rob Huff is all sideways. And now Turkington's losing more places, and he spins Dan Camish round. Camish is off, and Camish is into the barriers. Yes, he nudges the barriers. There was contact with Colin Turkington and all of that, who's lost another place to another of the Napa Racing cars.
Well, there you go. It's all happened at the complex. Turkington comes together with Camish, we think, and round goes Camish as we go on board with Tom Ingram up the back of Jake Hill just now. The brake lights just flashing away just to give him those little bits of comfort in the front end of that BMW as they make their way down. But it's Adam Morgan who has bolted at the front. It was the perfect start for Adam Morgan. Josh Cook has muscled his way into second place. Mr. Thruxton has arrived. Robo with a problem as well there, going very slow at the back. Wonder what's wrong
was it Robo that went offwards? Did I misidentify?
We'll come back to that in a minute. It's okay, Josh. It all happens on the first lap. So very busy as we've got the two Napa cars coming in here. That looks like it is Dan Camish in third place right now. It is Camish in third, and Sutton is in fifth with Turkington in the middle. But here comes Sutton. They're going to go past Turkington on the way in towards Allard. And yes, we've got also Nick Halstead facing the wrong direction now at the chicane. Nick Halstead gets turned around there, and he manages to do a bit of a three-point turn before Robo comes in. And it was Dan, yes, it was Rowbottom who actually went off with you there, but back on track now.
Yeah, apologies for that misidentification. There's more contact. This is the two championship leaders, Ingram and Hill, or two of the championship contenders at least, and Ingram gets shuffled out wide, and there's a Vauxhall, I think, alongside them, so it's Aaron Taylor-Smith that goes around the outside of the pair of them.
Good move, Aaron Taylor-Smith. Make hay while the sun shines there, and he goes past two guys fighting, and that's how you pick your moments in the British Touring Car Championship, and he done that absolutely perfectly in the Power Max Vauxhall Astra as they make their way. A few guys on the hybrid right now. 8 laps of hybrid for Adam Morgan, 6 for Cook, 3 for Camish. Oh, and off goes Moffat. The Moff goes off, and that's not what we like to see. That looks like he's spinning down through the exit. Is that Church area? I think it was, yes. So Aidan Moffat, one of my local guys, goes for a bit of a wild, wicked ride at the exit of Church as they come through. There goes Morgan and Cook. Cook's on the hybrid to try and see if he can get that gap down at the front and get up towards the back of Adam Morgan as they go in towards Allard. Then there's a gap back to Sutton, Camish and Turkington as they go through for the first time of asking. But drama at the start of race 3.
And Josh Cook right on the back of the leader. He locks up as he challenges Adam Morgan here into the complex. So Josh Cook really on a mission here. Ash Sutton in third is going after them. Then Dan Camish is fourth. Colin Turkington, not a good start, in fifth. Aaron Taylor-Smith is up into sixth after he passed Tom Ingram and Jake Hill 1 lap ago. But Josh Cook then going after Adam Morgan, who keeps dabbing the brakes as he goes through Noble Corner. Perhaps he hasn't quite got the confidence that maybe Josh Cook and the chasing cars have.
Just brings a little bit of feel back to the front end of the car. A little bit of weight transfer, if anything, maybe on the front end of that car that Adam just needs with the slight dab of the brake. That'll all be left foot braking. He'll be still on the accelerator as we go on board with the Moff and Chilton. Let's see what happens here to Aidan Moffat as he comes through. He's just coming underneath Tom Chilton. This is a replay on the big screen, ladies and gentlemen. If you can see it, down we come towards. Moff cuts across the nose. Oh, and there's just a tiny, tiny touch. That's a wicked ride down towards Church for Aidan Moffat there, but unfortunate. That's a replay on the big screen. We look live out the windows of the commentary box, and we see Adam Morgan pulling away from Josh Cook. Wouldn't this be something if Adam Morgan could convert this pole position into a win? As we also now see a replay of, yes, it was Rowbottom. Very easy to get those two numbers caught up though, but Dan Rowbottom get turned round. You heard what he said on the grid to Alan Hyde. I'm not going to repeat it, but he was trying to get on the podium. He was wanting to be on the podium. And you know what I did like about that whole scenario? Aaron Taylor-Smith really capitalised on that battle with those two guys going towards Noble.
Yeah, he's going really well, isn't he? But he's now back under pressure from Ingram. He goes up the inside and he goes ahead. So just as we were saying that.
Look at Hill.
Yeah, and Jake Hill now alongside him, so they're 3 abreast again, aren't they? And so the two places Aaron Taylor-Smith gained 1 lap ago at the same part of the track. He loses them both quite extraordinarily.
Beautiful stuff from Jake Hill there. He watched what was happening in front of him. Aaron Taylor-Smith, well, he was kind of mugged by Tom Ingram at a place where he didn't expect it. Tingers goes through and so does Jake Hill, but Aaron will come back towards these guys as they make their way down towards Church just now. Morgan already through the heart of Church and starts heading back towards me at the commentary point just now. climbing up towards Woodham Hill. We look further back down, then it's lights ablaze for quite a few people. I think it's Tingham who could be in that battle, actually with his lights on just now, trying to put a few people off if he can, just to catch their eye. That's all to do with the lights. Morgan has been closed down. It was a second last time across the line. This time as he crossed the line, the gap from Morgan to Cook goes down to 0.2 of a second. Josh Cook, Mr. Thruxton, we've called him that all day. He's still to show up, and right now he's making an appearance.
Yeah, he wants win number 11 here at Thruxton, does Josh Cook, but if he looks in his mirrors, he can see the four-time champion Ash Sutton is catching them, so he is catching, and he's not by himself because Dan Camish and Colin Turkington are going with him, so it's 5 for the lead as they head out to Seagrave and up towards the very fast left-hander at Noble. This part of the lap, Adam Morgan has just stretched the margin again from Josh Cook, and Cook starting to come under pressure from Ash Sutton.
We saw Darrell De Leon retiring into the pit lane on the Duckham's car. Great unfortunate for him as we pick back up with the leaders coming through the back part of the circuit. This is where Sutton looks really, really good as he catches up towards the back of his good friend Josh Cook. Friends on the track, when the helmet goes on, it's a different thing, but they will always look out for each other as they go through Church. Sutton super aggressive through the apex of Church. That's not just curb, that's almost some of the Marshall's post he's taken away with him as well there. He's that close to him as they come up towards the chicane, but he's unable to catch Cook there. Cook with the same amount of hybrid. 6 laps left for Morgan, 4 for Cook and Sutton, 3 for Camish, and 6 for Turkington, who lurks in 5th place just now. Jake Hill, a little bit quieter in this race as you would imagine. He's only got 2 laps of hybrid, but the man ahead, Ingram, has none.
And here they come then, the leading 5 cars up towards the right-hander at Campbell, and Ash Sutton breaks really late. He's right on the rear bumper of Josh Cook's Toyota as they turn their way through, but Cook managed to get the car turned through, still ahead of the 4-time champion Ash Sutton. So those leading 5 cars head up towards the left-hander at Noble, and it's Josh Cook that bit closer again to the race leader.
As we see them coming through Noble just now, the cars dancing a very tightrope kind of line through there. There's no room for error, that's for sure, as they bounce away through the second part of Goodwood down towards Village. We ride on board with Dan Camish looking ahead to his teammate Sutton with Cook and Morgan ahead of him. Watch the middle curb as he takes through here. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen, as they go through the fastest corner in British motorsport. All eyes glued to the big screens here at Thruxton. You can now take your eyes towards the actual chicane if you're here, and you see Adam Morgan under pressure from Josh Cook in the LKQ Eurocar Parts Toyota. Fabulous to see him putting up a good fight here with the pink wing mirrors. And he also dabs the hybrid as he comes out of the last corner. We can see the red light on Tom Ingram's car, which means he has no hybrid left in this race, and everybody else comes through the chicane as they head round towards the complex for lap 7 of 16.
And is Josh Cook going to challenge here into the right-hander? No, he sits him underneath the rear wing of Adam Morgan's BMW as they turn right, then they turn left, and then they will turn right again through Seagrave Corner. And Josh Cook will have to be full commitment because Ash Sutton is closer to him once again as they go up towards the left-hander at Noble Corner. And again, Adam Morgan is the driver who you can see the brake lights appear on the leading BMW as he tries to get the BMW settled. And a big challenge there for Ash Sutton to go second.
Yeah, Sutton is alongside Cook just now as they come through the fast back part, and Camish is going to go through as well. Threads are either alongside, there's not a lot of room there, but through he goes. Second place for Sutton, third for Camish. Josh Cook goes down to 4th place and now comes under threat from Colin Turkington. Remember I said watch Andrew Watson? He's just gone ahead of Tom Chilton. He's come up to 12th place from the back of the grid, and also past Josh Cook goes Turks. Great move from Colin Turkington to get through as De Leon again back into the pit lane in the Duckham's bat car there. As we see out of the last corner, it's Morgan, Sutton, Camish, Turkington, Cook, then Tom Ingram and Jake Hill all starting to home up towards the back of that leading 4 cars just now. There are 5 cars. This is looking pretty strong and a good way to end race 3.
And is Sutton going to have a go here immediately into the complex? No, he's got his teammate behind. What about Tom Ingram to make it 6 for the lead, and Jake Hill to make it 7 for the lead then as they turn their way into Seagrave? Adam Morgan's able to hang on, but perhaps he hasn't got the pace of some of the others behind, and Ash Sutton right in the wheel tracks of the BMW heading up towards Noble Corner. They go through the left-hander. This is where Sutton was so quick on the previous lap and got alongside Josh Cook. Can he do the same thing this time through Village or through Goodwood then Village. Well, it's still Adam Morgan ahead for now.
Chilton out of the race. Tom Chilton out of the race. Did that look like engine failure on the Accelerate car, the Bristol Street Motors car for Tom Chilton at the side of the car track with a lot of smoke? Marshals were in attendance to that one as they come through Church Corner. What has Sutton got just now as we ride on board with Ingram, who's on the wrong side of Cook? But how has he got so much straight line speed compared to Cook? And round the outside of both of them comes Jake Hill. Jake Hill goes past Cook and Tingram. Tingram tries to tough it out again. He'll get given a little bit of respectful room there from Jake Hill. Jake Hill gets a little tap in the rear from Josh Cook as they all head towards turn number 1. Cook with 2 wheels on the grass. Tingram there, that's a man hungry for something here. Did not want to let that one go. He put himself in a very risky position, but he managed to get through it.
Through come the top 4 with Ash Sutton right behind Adam Morgan. He's quicker through the left-hander at Cobb. He's up alongside and Ash Sutton dives up the inside to take the lead of the race. Away from Adam Morgan through Seagrave Corner. Ash Sutton, who's not won a race yet this season, leads the way and with his teammate going for second.
Following through his teammate, can he get through? Camish on the outside as we see live pictures. Beautiful stuff from Dan Cam. That is a quality racing driver as into the pit lane comes Robo. Robo retires from this race. Dan Robottom brings number 32 Napa Ford in, and we will park that in pit lane. Sutton goes to the front, and he had to work at that. He's had to work so hard. What an inspired move as you look towards the big television screens. I wonder if he saw Tom Ingram do that earlier on. Gets through, and then Camish. How opportunistic can Camish be? Keeps his foot buried in this one as they come by into Nobles, and away he goes. It's Sutton who leads in towards the club chicane for this time of asking from his teammate. He'll be happy to see that behind him. They cross the line, then it's Morgan, then it's Turkington. 2 Napa Fords, 2 West Surrey run BMWs, and Dan Rowbottom going to go back out onto track. Alan, did you have an update on Dan Rowbottom for us there?
I can smell rubber.
Okay. Wonder if he had picked something up and it got lodged in somewhere, possibly.
Big look up down here for Colin Turkington, who almost drove into the back of his teammate there, but just avoided the back of Adam Morgan's car. So Colin Turkington would quite like to do what Ash Sutton and Dan Camish did on the previous lap and get past Adam Morgan, but it didn't work out for him. Meanwhile, you've got Tom Ingram and Jake Hill going after him in 5th and 6th positions, but Ash Sutton and Dan Camish now there at the front. They're pulling away,
and you can also see that there's no dab of the brake lights for the BMWs as they go in towards Noble. Now the tyres very much up to temperature. They look a little bit more controlled and settled. They may go back to that as the tyres start to drift away from them. 4 laps of hybrid for Sutton, 1 for Camish, 2 for Morgan, and 3 for Turkington still at the front. Then Tingram has 0, no hybrid left for Tom Ingram as we ride on board with Adam Morgan. Right now we have got a safety car coming out now, so the safety car has popped out. Yeah, that's for the Tom Chilton car, which is just round out of turn number 1 on the way towards your complex. You won't be able to see it, Josh, but he's parked on the left-hand side of the road. I think it could have possibly been an engine failure. A lot of smoke coming out of the car, but no real indication as to what just yet. As the cars make their way across the line just now under the safety car here, they'll get caught up with Scott Stringfellow, and I think he's in the Porsche in this one, if I'm not mistaken. And Sutton will bring everybody back under control. He's also got the fastest lap in this race. So just let's neutralise the race, let's bring it all back together, and let's try and remove that car, if we can, off Tom Chilton. I haven't seen anything else pop up on the screen, so that's obviously what we're looking at right now, Josh.
Yeah, I think so. No one else has retired other than Daryl De Leon. When I wonder if that car had a misfire, because when he did come out of the pits briefly, it sounded pretty poor. So Daryl De Leon's had to end his day in the pit lane, I think.
Yeah, and a shame for Robo there. You said you could smell rubber from Robo, which is never the greatest thing, Alan Hyde. Wonder if there's maybe something dragging, or he could have picked up a bit something someplace after that off as well. Something could have got dislodged. We'll never actually know. It was a very quick in and out pit stop from the Napa Racing guys as we await to see what happens on the resumption of this race here. We're looking at a replay of them coming through the complex now, and this will be Ash Sutton making his move on Adam Morgan. Lovely stuff. He lined it up on the way in, watched it through the middle part, and then executed on the exit of the complex. That was stunning. Then watched Dan Camish. He's just opportunistic, stays in the throttle. He knows Adam Morgan's on the wrong side, and he also knows Adam Morgan won't force the issue just too much. You could also see Camish's helmet just having a couple of flicks towards the left just to make sure Adam did know that he was there. Lovely, lovely overtake, Josh, and well called by yourself as they made their way up towards the incredibly fast Noble. Before they don't glide out of sight, they bounce out of sight towards me, don't they?
Yeah, it's really quite extraordinary view of these BTCC cars through here, because they carry so much curb through the right-hander at Campbell, and then, as you say, when they're getting up into top gear through Noble, it's such a fast left-handed corner, but sort of 90 degrees, or getting it on for 90 degrees, obviously not a sharp right-angle corner, it glides through, but at such high speeds, therefore, especially yesterday in qualifying, you had some great views of cars going very sideways around the back of the circuit, and everyone's fully on the limit.
So we wait for the resumption of this race, lap 12 of 16. You know what it's going to be, Josh Allen? It's going to be a dash for the cash. It's a race for the top step in this one.
Quite a big dark cloud, isn't it?
That's fine. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Or did you want to tell me something that I don't know?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No, it's fine, isn't it?
Fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. If you look the other way, it's lovely. I don't know what's over that way, but it's far, far away towards church. So you know the way I'm looking now, Josh. I think you're facing that way, Josh, and we're both looking that way just now.
Yeah, church corner sort of directly in front of me.
If I don't look behind me, I can't see what's happening. So another replay of this overtake. Adam Morgan, he took a big hunk of curb on the inside, but Sutton just let the car roll round the back of the bumper. I love that move. Really, really classy stuff there. And it's the Camish after it. Camish just comes alongside. You can almost just see him have a little, just checking his mirror on the way up there, and through he went. Morgan didn't make it easy for him, though, did he? That's the part we couldn't see, Josh, because we were still on board with Dan Cam at that point. So Morgan and Camish did go through there side by side. I think a little bit of credit needs to go to Adam Morgan for not burying the number 33 West Surrey Racing BMW into the side of Dan Camish there, which could have been an easy thing to have done as they go through that very, very fast Noble corner. A good bit of driving from both guys there, and respect all the way. The TV director's liking these replays, so again, we'll talk you through. We can see the onboard version from the back of Adam Morgan's this time. If you can't see the replay and you're not at the circuit, we're showing you an overtake that happened up towards Noble a couple of laps ago. The incredibly fast left-hand corner where Sutton executed it at the exit of the complex, and then Dan Cam was very opportunistic and he got through on the run towards Noble. We're now riding on board with Dan Cam. The safety car lights are still very much on. The car's closer to you round there, Josh. I don't suppose you can bend your neck round the corner. Can you see if it's actually moved yet, or is it still there?
I can see the recovery vehicle, and that's still there. For the flashing lights on the recovery truck is still with Tom Chilton. So if it has had an engine failure, I guess they're just making sure it's not leaking any fluids before they pull it up across the circuit.
Yeah, well, that's very much always got to happen, that's for sure. They'll check and make sure that it's not going to contaminate any part of the track for the remainder of this race. I think we've probably got 4 laps to go. We might get a couple of laps added onto this, and then you have to think, well, who is this going to help? Is this going to help the front-wheel drive cars, bring the temperature of the tyres a little bit back from the front, but it also cools off the rear tyres? Does it help the rear-wheel drive cars? It's one of these things. Who can switch their car on very quickly after a restart? Well, I think we all know that Ash Sutton's very special when it comes to doing things like that.
Yeah, that's right. He's in now very much that prime position to get what would be win number 40 in the BTCC if he can manage it. He's been trying it all season. He's had lots of podiums, but he's yet to get that 40th victory in the championship. But that is his aim for this race. Will Dan Camish play the team game and follow him round, or will Dan Camish look for his first victory of the season, I wonder? He
was one of the other milestones we got in the information pack, wasn't he? The 40th race win for Ash Sutton, as we look at the eyes of Adam Morgan. When you look at the big screen, if you're on site, you can see the concentration. Normally when they're racing, you don't really see them blink, but Adam, in a bit of a more relaxed state right now, he is doing a bit of blinking there, as across the road comes the Tom Chilton car. And let's hope they don't run over that rope. No, they don't, or do they? They manage to get a little bit of tension on that, and you pull it out from underneath the wheel, and then they get that car taken to a position of safety on the other side of the track. Once again, Pat Blakeney there again on hand to help mop up with what's going on here just now. Fabulous stuff. He's absolutely everywhere.
And that's Pat and Sally Blakeney.
Yeah, Pat and wife. Yeah.
Yep.
And was it not Sally's birthday? Am I seeing something else? Am I thinking, having a moment here? I don't know, but Pat is absolutely everywhere. He's everywhere and nowhere, baby. There's a good song there, actually, Alan. I don't know where that come from, but it's late in the day now. And that's what... Pat Blakeney was here about 5 minutes ago, right underneath my nose. Here we go, anyway. The safety car pulls in, and we're back racing here at Thruxton. And out of the last corner comes Ash Sutton with Dan Camish. And look at the gap they've managed to pull over the two West Surrey Racing Team BMW cars that go round towards Allard just now. It's looking very good for Sutton and Camish. It looks like it's a dogfight between these two at the front. We've got an extended couple of laps put on. It will be 19 laps this race, so we've got 6 laps to go.
Ingram there was locking up as he tried to go around the outside of Turkington, which didn't work out for him, so Tom Ingram still in 5th. But what a good drive this has been, from 8th on the grid and with the least hybrid of anybody in the race. We know that Tom Ingram drives really quickly, and he seems to drive even quicker when he's a little bit annoyed about the previous race result, and he's right on terms now with Colin Turkington.
As they make their way through Noble as well, Jake Hill was flirting with the edge of the grass as Tingram has a big kind of bump slide off the curb there. He took a big ramp of curb and it pitched the car sideways, very similar to what we saw Ash Sutton doing earlier on. Has Tingram got something left here? He's got no hybrid. He and Hill are out of hybrid for this one. They've got nothing left. 3 laps left for Sutton, 1 for Camish. Camish has used most of his up as they come back up and in towards the Club Chicane for the 3rd race of the weekend here for the Quick for British Touring Car Championship. We're very much now down towards the business end as they cross the line all together now. Aaron Taylor-Smith ahead of Rob Huff with Ronan Pearson very much in there. Then Mikey Doble, then Andrew Watson. What a comeback drive this has been for Andrew Watson, up to 12th place from the back of the grid.
See if he can make some more progress before this is done. What about Ingram? He's right with Turkington again, who's having to defend down into the complex, rides the curb. Ingram sees that. Can he do what Sutton did to Morgan? Don't think he's quite quick enough through the left-hander at Cobb, so he has to settle in behind Colin Turkington once more. He looks behind him. He's got Jake Hill. In front he's got the other 2 BMW, so he's in a real BMW sandwich here is Tom Ingram, who would quite like to get to the front of it, I'm sure, but the Laser Tools car there of Jake Hill right underneath the rear wing of Ingram.
I mean, Tom Ingram's only going to see the laser sticker, the Uniserv sticker on the windscreen. He won't see any bonnet at all because he was so close to him. The rearview mirror would have been filled with a big smiley face of Jake Hill and the Uniserv logo across the windscreen as they come through Church. That looked good from the BMW. He's right in the slipstream. He's gaining as they come through. Darrell De Leon's back on track. He's been in out the pits quite a few times to try and solve some sort of issue with that car, and Ash Sutton now comes through the chicane. He's put a bit of time into himself, and Dan Camish, has he managed to get to the front, and will he pull away towards the end of this race, still with the fastest lap of the race, still with 3 laps of hybrid in his pocket, and still in position number 1, looking pretty good for his 40th touring car victory in the British Touring Car Championship, the Quick for British Touring Car Championship, race 3 at Thruxton.
Turkington right on terms with his teammate Adam Morgan now. Can he make his way up into 3rd position? The light on the side of the car, so that would suggest that Colin Turkington will be using his hybrid over the course of this lap to see if he can get ahead of his teammate Adam Morgan as they turn up towards Noble Corner. Tom Ingram is staying with them as they go through the super fast left-hander at Noble, and then they will turn right through Goodwood Corner, where Ash Sutton is well ahead of Dan Camish now, but for 3rd position there's 4 cars line astern with Adam Morgan, Colin Turkington, Tom Ingram and Jake Hill.
Now we're seeing a replay on board Dan Cam here. I can't see exactly what we're looking at. I picked her up quite late. I don't know if you saw that yourself, Josh, but we'll come away from the big screens just now and watch the cars coming live up towards Brooklyn, in towards Woodham Hill area. There's a little bit of defending for Morgan in 3rd place. Morgan under pressure, under big pressure from his teammate and from Tingers. Is Tingers going round the outside of Turks? Beautiful. That was the move of a champion. Lovely stuff with no hybrid. He goes round the outside, and that's been the signature Tingram move today on the brakes. He's been a little bit cheeky with that one as Tingers, but he's managed to pull it off quite a few times now and get away with it as he heads back up in towards the complex. 17 of 19, that's where we are right now.
Can he get on the podium, Tom Ingram, then? What a drive this has been from the Bristol Street Motors driver, and he is quicker through the complex than what Adam Morgan is. We know he's run out of hybrid boost, but Tom Ingram is driving that car so well behind them. Jake Hill is drawing up alongside Colin Turkington, looking round the outside into Noble Corner, and what a move from Jake Hill, right round the outside. He's gone, and I think he's ahead.
Yeah, and he is, Jake Hill. That was another power move as well in the touring cars. They're pulling out the haymakers in race number 3 for us today, and that was a full-on attack from Jake Hill to go round the outside at Noble. Now underneath him, going through Goodwood into Village, is Josh Cook. Can he go past Turkington? Yes, he can, as he going towards Church. Lovely, lovely stuff. We're on lap 17 of 19. We're about to start lap 18 as Darrell De Leon is just leaving the chicane now. In towards that club chicane comes our leader. Look at the gap that he's built at 1.6 second last time across the line. That's increased quite considerably on this lap back to Dan Camish. Then it's Morgan, Tingram, Hill, Cook, Turkington, Taylor Smith, Huff, Pearson, Doble, Watson, you name them all, they're all in there as well. We've then got Robo and Osborne as they head into the complex.
Yeah, so this big lead from Gene Sutton and Camish, but it's all about the battle for third position and whether Tom Ingram can have the drive of the day to get up onto the podium. He's right on terms with Adam Morgan, who hops up over the curb. He knows the type of overtaking moves that can happen into Seagrave, so he has that one covered off on this occasion. Up towards Noble they will go on lap number 18 of 19, the penultimate lap of the race. And they turn through the left-hander. Tom Ingram trying to carry the momentum here, Duncan, to get up onto the podium.
Well, he's carrying that momentum forward. He's going to have to do something meteoric to get past Adam Morgan, but they're both on the same amount of hybrid. Morgan has none. Tingram has none. This is down to pure pace that's in the car and pure pace behind the steering wheel. What has Adam Morgan got over Tom Ingram? Ingram again takes a very aggressive line through Church there. They're right over the curb, and here he comes. He's building. Morgan will go to the inside. That won't phase Tingers. He'll try and go right round the outside on the brakes, but he's levelled with him a little bit later. Here he comes round the outside, surely not 2 laps to trot. Oh, there's a bit of contact this time. There's contact. Tingram misses the chicane. Morgan misses the chicane. The stewards will have to deal with that one. There was definite contact. That forced Tom Ingram off the track. That was nothing to do with him skipping the chicane there. He was given a little bit of a gentle push in that one. I think if you saw Josh watch the replay on the big screen now, Tingram again tried to come round the outside. He turns in and there in the side of the door, nothing Tingram could have done with that apart from going in the circle, and he manages to miss the recticel. That will run on into the evening, I think.
Yes, but Ingram's had a busy old race. He's drove fantastically. How many times has he gone round the outside of someone into the club chicane? Pretty much all of those overtakes have come there. So for Jake Hill, he's right on terms with Adam Morgan. But win number 40, well, that looks like it's going Ash Sutton's way. He's on the final lap. He's turning out of Goodwood through Village and up towards Church Corner for the final time.
He has looked so impressive throughout the course of the weekend, but this has been his finest moment, and he saved it for race 3 to pick up his 40th Quick-Fit British Touring Car Championship race in his career. He has had some career, and it comes in towards the club chicane. He looks very, very good. Ash Sutton, curb. The applause already in the air from the lovely Thruxton crowd. Sutton accelerates towards the checker flag and takes it. In second place will be Dan Camish. In third place across the line will be Tom Ingram, with Adam Morgan, Jake Hill and Josh Cook all hot on his heels as they cross the line. That was incredibly close towards the end there, 7,000ths of a second in fact. Tingram was trying to go a little bit slow across the line there. Was he trying to give some time back? Oh, and we've had Nick Halstead go off and have a fairly sizable shunt on the last lap. Now, where is that? Is that round beside you by any chance, Josh? Because it's not with me.
Don't think so. So I think it's somewhere around the back of the circuit, isn't it? I'm having a look to see if I could see any yellow flags.
It was beside Armco Barrier and the exit of Noble, possibly. Okay. I'm looking across.
So out of my view, yeah. Round the corner, but yeah, that was.
Oh no, I see him. He's on the exit of Goodwood before Village on the run down towards Church. He's taken a lot of tyre wall away with him, as well has Nick Halstead. That looks like a fairly sizable impact. But it's Ash Sutton who wins. It takes the fastest lap of the race, and boy, did the defending reigning champ with the Goldwing winners have to fight for that one. Dan Camish in second place, Tom Ingram in third place, and Adam Morgan comes home a fine fourth ahead of Jake Hill, who took 2 victories today, in fifth place. Josh Cook ahead of Colin Turkington. Great result for those guys, battling all the way. And Aaron Taylor Smith towards the end of that one looked very, very impressive in the mid part as well. Rob Huff, Ronan Pearson, Mikey Doble, Andrew Watson, Sam Osborne, Dillon, Chris Smiley, Aidan Moffat, Scott Sumpton down in 16th place, and in Halstead, Rowbottom, De Leon and Chilton, who we saw out of the race very early on. But as the cars make their way round for a pretty slow in-lap, they'll try and get as much pickup on their tyres as they possibly can. That was a sensational race there. You've got to take your hat off to all those drivers. They put everything on the line there, Josh, and left nothing in the locker.
Yeah, it was a great race once again, wasn't it, for the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship. And finally for Ash Sutton, podium number 9 of the year, but finally it's a race victory. He's been looking for them all season, and it's finally come here in round 12 of the championship, and that result I think might put him into the championship lead as well, which I'm sure will come up on the big screens in just a moment's time. But the first win of the season for Ash Sutton, and Napa Racing I think will put him into the championship lead before the championship heads to Oulton Park in 2 weeks' time. But yeah, an interesting end to the race there, which included Tom Ingram. Was he trying to give a position back? Was he having a problem at the end of the race?
He got a little side knock from Jake Hill after the flag as well, so that was interesting as well. But what I have to say is, I want us to remember that there was that moment at the chicane. We all got caught up in the last time. It doesn't affect Ash Sutton this time, but what a ride that was from the boy Tingram to get himself into third place. What a race it was from Dan Camish for a fabulous second place, and what a win for Ash Sutton as they make their way back in now. I'm watching the talk of technical checks right now on Ash Sutton's car. He has cleared the right height check, which is the biggest relief. He then goes on to the scales just now. He gets the OK from that, looks around the other side, and the team down there looking pretty happy with that just now. They wave him forward. Then the car has to start on its own power as well. That's something, it needs to start under its own power. Is that Dan Mayo down there? I think it actually is. So they want him to start up. That's one of the rules. The car must be able to start on itself, and then once it does, it can then leave the Toca technical area and make its way down towards Parc Fermé, where the voice of the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship is, the crackly voice of the British Touring Car Championship. Alan Hyde will be waiting for them to come into Parc Fermé.
We're standing by, standing very by.
Good man, Heidi. Sutton, Hill, Tingram. What a top three on the podium, or the championship, sorry, that is. Sutton leads the championship with 5 points over Hill and then Tingram. It's so topsy-turvy in this British Touring Car Championship. It really is.